Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to just allow 1 minute for people to log on to the webinar here, and then we'll get started. Glad you could join us. Again, we're just waiting a minute for everybody to sign in. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and get started. It's 1 o'clock. Welcome, everyone. My name is Jen Torgersen. I am a sales counselor here at RiverWoods Manchester. Been here since 2016, and happy to have you joining us today. If you have any questions during the presentation, we ask that you type those into the Q&A box, either at the top or the bottom of your screen, depending on how you're joining us. And I can address your questions toward the end of the presentation. A little bit about our founders, Mrs. Hatch and Mrs. Coffin. These were two women from the Durham and Exeter areas who were really the founders of RiverWoods Group. It was a grassroots organization started around a kitchen table years and years ago, and they fundraised and started the first RiverWoods campus called The Woods, which opened around 1993. And that was such a success that they then added the Ridge in the early 2000s and the Boulders around 2008, 2010. So these two women were really instrumental in creating the concept and starting the entire organization in this area. So these are the 5 communities. Top left is RiverWoods Manchester. You're joining us here today. Below that, bottom left, is RiverWoods Durham. That was new construction built around 2017. And then on the right-hand side of your screen, there are 3 campuses, the Woods, the Ridge, and the Boulders, and those are all located in Exeter. So today, excuse me, there are 2 boards of directors or trustees. There's a CCRC board, which really oversees the existing communities. And then there is a RiverWoods Group board. And the RiverWoods Group was created to really focus on consolidating services, providing fee-based services and support to each community. The different marketing, different departments such as marketing, finance, IT, human resources, quality, were all consolidated into one campus just for cost savings and more efficiency. RiverWoods Group funds the at-risk portion of future communities and buildings, and such as the cottages that we actually built recently here in Manchester. And each community is financially separate from the other, and each has an opportunity to provide more services to RiverWoods Group. So the entire system has been in place since the mid-teens, 2014, 2015, 2016. And Justine Fogel is our CEO who works with both boards. Just bear with me for a moment here. So you are looking at a bird's eye view of a map. You can see our community on the far left where the red arrow is pointing. It's kind of a neat location in that we're in Manchester, but we're really located up on the Hooksett town line across from a 640-acre nature conservancy. So that's really a nice gift for the people that live here. It's just a very woodsy area, very quiet, located near both highways, 93 and 293, and yet you feel like it's a very rural community. So close to everything, but far enough that it's woodsy and natural setting, and really just a nice place to be. We're 10 minutes into downtown Manchester, maybe 20 to Concord, close to Boston. It's just about an hour to Boston. And the seacoast is close as well as the lakes region. So it's just really easy access. Wonderful spot. Another bird's eye view of our campus. Off to the left, you can see the Nature Conservancy. That pond that's really quite close to our campus contains about 15 heron nests. So you can see the babies being fed, and it's just so much wildlife in there. It's really neat. And you can see some neighborhoods of newer homes right around in our immediate neighborhood here. A lot of those folks walk on our Alliance Way, which is the U-shaped street that goes around our building here, and we walk in their neighborhoods, and it's super friendly. You can see that U-shaped road, Alliance Way, that goes around the main campus. The main campus has 5 wings, A, B, C, D, and E. And the first 2 floors of the D and E wing, which is here to the right of the building, if you can see my arrow, those are the lodge, which are assisted living, memory support, and nursing care. And the whole left side is independent living. Excuse me. And then we have cottages here to the right in red and blue. There's 18 new cottages that were built about a year or so ago, and 4 original cottages at the end of the street there in gray. So altogether, we have 22 cottages, 2 different sizes, and we have 136 apartments in independent living and 65 suites over at the lodge. So we have over 100-year history in the Manchester area. This was originally the Women's Aid and Relief Society. And then they built this community in the early 90s, and it had a couple transitions. But RiverWoods came in 2016 and invested over $40 million into the community, inside and out, top to bottom. So it's been a huge undertaking, but it's just beautiful. We are a not-for-profit charitable CCRC, or continuing care retirement community. Again, 22 cottages, 65 suites in the lodge, which is the healthcare side, and 136 independent apartments. And assisted living, memory support, and enhanced assisted living are offered at the lodge, which is, that's really what used to be called the long-term nursing care. So it is end-of-life care. Area attractions, Currier Gallery of Art is fantastic. That's right in downtown Manchester. We have some residents here who have been docents there over the years. They have 2 Frank Lloyd Wright houses that they give tours of, and it's just really a cool place. Palace Theater has off-Broadway shows. The Rex is part of that. They do comedy hours and plays and all sorts of different things. Mill Yard Museum is supposed to be fantastic, the old mills in Manchester. Livingston Park is right down the road with Doors Pond, which is where you see our resident here. And there's other state parks close by as well. Cedar Swamp, we'll show you a couple more pictures of in just a moment. Lake Massabesic is here in Manchester. We have a resident in the cottages who's brought a sailboat and moors it in the lake. And there is a 9-hole golf course right down the road from the campus, Intervale, as well as Dairyfield and some other nice courses larger in the area. So the Nature Conservancy, we have some residents that are truly engaged with the Nature Conservancy. On our far left here, this is Bill. Bill has been on PBS, actually, being interviewed about the gift of the Cedar Swamp Preserve right across the street. There are over 2 miles of trails down the road from us that are open to the public, one of which is accessible to folks with walkers and wheelchairs. But our residents, some of them actually go off trail right across the street from our main entrance sign down the hill, and that's where those herons are. So just to be able to do that, I think is really joyful for the folks that are into that sort of thing living here. It just makes for a nice, peaceful, calm environment as well. In case you didn't know, these are our resident models. We always use our own residents in our marketing materials. So the basics about RiverWoods Manchester, You do have to be 62 or older in order to move in. Um, and we offer care coordination throughout your lifetime. There is a team of staff that meet every single week, discuss any resident needs in independent living. If someone is looking to maybe move to the lodge for assisted living or a higher level, or just having some issues and need some added support, that care coordination team can help meet and start those conversations early on in the process to help, solve any problems and assist you in independent living. We do have a wellness clinic in independent living with a nurse practitioner who is available 5 days a week to supplement your outside doctor's services. And there is a social worker in the lodge. So should you go to the hospital, our social worker is in contact with the staff there, discussing the care and working on a plan to bring you back with the discharge planner. So makes for a very efficient system. Everyone in independent living qualifies for 30 free days every year for a short-term respite stay, which is a short-term medical stay. So we have 3 rooms set aside for independent residents at all times in case you have a short-term medical need. If you had a surgery, if you had the flu, or someone just, maybe a couple, one person needs to stay there while the other goes away, something like that. So 30 days free per calendar year for each independent resident. And then if you do move permanently to the lodge, you qualify for a lifetime discount off the market rate for the base rate. So that's $1,000 off per month, the market rate for assisted living, $1,500 off per month for memory support, and $2,000 off per month for enhanced assisted living. And that's per person. So if you're a couple, then each of you gets that discount per month for your lifetime. And our contract is an insurance contract. We are overseen by the Department of Insurance. They approve our contracts. And our contract is considered prepaying for future care. So because of that, there's a tax deduction available on the non-refundable portion of the entrance fee you pay when establishing residency. And so far, there's an annual tax deduction on a portion of the monthly fees as well, because again, it's considered prepaying for future care. And we're happy to help you with more information about that if you're interested. So here in Manchester, we offer a flexible 70% refundable entrance fee. It's one of very few in the country. I believe we're the only one in the Northeast. And so it allows you to either leave your refund to your estate once you've gone, once you or both of you have left the community, and the next person pays the entrance fee on your independent home. Anything in your refund would go to your estate. But if you're in independent living and one or both of you moves permanently to the lodge for assisted living or a higher level of care, you can say, I want to keep paying what I'm paying in independent living every month. And the difference in monthly fees in assisted living, while discounted off market rate, I want to draw down on my refund for. So you can use your 70% refund for the difference in fees at the lodge if you so choose. You can spend down half of it, leave the rest to your estate. It's really your choice. But this is the only campus where you have that option. It's very appealing to folks who don't have kids, maybe don't have beneficiaries, people who, they need help with people to care for them, and they want to have more funds set aside for that purpose. They want to be able to use that 70% refund. They don't have heirs, so that's just one reason. But others might keep their other investments where they are and spend down those 70% refund instead. So it's just nice to have that option, but it is your choice. We do have a neighborhood full of people passionate about what they do every day. These are 3 of our residents, and this is a neat little farm stand at the other end of Hackett Hill Road from our campus. This is a beautiful region. If you have not been to this region, it is absolutely gorgeous. Lakes, mountains, city of Manchester is beautiful, and we're just very fortunate to be here. And our residents come from all backgrounds and levels of interest and are just, we have a great time. It's a great group of people living and working here. We do have some resident cleared paths right on our immediate 29-acre campus. And we are pet friendly. We have a new dog park or dog run, I guess, that is fenced in. We do have a pet policy, of course, and we can tell you more about that if you're interested. But the dog run is great. Normally, your dog has to be on a 6-foot leash. But inside the dog run, you can let them off leash. And it's just really a treat for our residents and their pets to be able to do that. We do have some folks with bikes here. Some are e-bikes. There's a kayak or two on our campus as well. And just a lot of active people living here and doing a vast array of different kinds of activities, outings, and interests. So this is one of our cottages. This is let's see, oops, I think I went, pardon me, Sugar Maple Cottage. So this is about 1,350 square feet. It is a 2-bedroom. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a white oak. My apologies. It's 1,650 square feet. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a sunroom and a den and a 2-car garage. There's 4 closets. There is an outdoor patio and a vaulted ceiling in the living room area, living room kitchen area. It's really open concept kitchen. And it is absolutely beautiful. There's also a gas fireplace, huge stone fireplace. So these are just lovely cottages. 18 just built a year or two ago again, and 4 original cottages about 10 years before that. They may, one may open up within the year, within a few months even. And we do have a wait list, and we'd have to go through the wait list and then see if that one would become available to someone on the outside if those on the wait list aren't ready yet. So apartments, this is just one example of many of the apartments here. This is a smaller cedar 1-bedroom with a bath and a half. It's just under 800 square feet. RiverWoods came in and pulled out the old kitchens and opened up the kitchens. Here you see a breakfast bar that sticks out on the left there with the 2 counter height stools. And residents chose what they wanted, whether it was stainless steel appliances, white quartz countertops, toffee colored cabinets. You'll see a mix here. But we may have a cedar opening soon, and it may go to someone on the wait list or it may not. So if you're interested in the cedar, this is the floor plan. Again, it's 1-bedroom with a bath and a half. And it is a super nice size. There are some that open with a patio or balcony. And if an apartment does, then there's an additional $50 per month fee for the patio or balcony. But it's a great layout, nice open, bright, lots of windows, and very popular. This is our Poplar apartment, which is 2 bedrooms with a den and 2 full baths. It's about 1,425 square feet. This has a 38-foot living room in it and 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, and the den and a double balcony. So it's just a great size. One of these is opening up shortly, and we will go to our wait list first and see where that takes us. Common areas throughout the building. This building was built in the early 90s, and you can't afford to build these buildings anymore. There's all sorts of additional spaces where residents can hang out and work on projects or read a book or have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. It's just so nice wide hallways, great for socializing and chatting with your neighbors. We do have a resident-run library. There's lifelong librarians that live here and do what they've been doing their entire lives, which is volunteer in the library and run that. And our library is connected to the Manchester system, the New Hampshire library system. There's a couple of different dining areas in independent living, as well as a beautifully updated dining room at the lodge. There is a private dining room for family parties and things, meetings, that sort of thing. Mail room, of course, a tavern, a resident-run tavern here in the building, newly renovated, absolutely beautiful. Living room area, which is sort of everyone's living room, where they have game nights and a light continental breakfast every morning, which is free, in the living room area with a fireplace. The Birch Hill room, you'll see in a moment, that is our big activities room where concerts and lectures and movies and socials and all sorts of things go on. There's a small resident-run art gallery wall. The dog run I mentioned. The wood shop is run by resident committee. Excuse me, I'm fighting a summer cold. Um, the wood shop is divided into two. So part of it has the large machinery, and then the outside part has all sorts of tools and things. Any resident in the building can go borrow a hammer and nail or work on a project, something that they need to fix in that space. So it's well run, and a lot of neat equipment in there. There is a salon available for hair and nails for an additional fee. There are expansive hallways, as I mentioned. There's two stores that are run by residents. There's a country store, which has shelf-stable items like peanut butter, cereal, candy bars, soup, as well as laundry soap, batteries, copy paper, all sorts of things, gift cards. Residents run that, and then they also run what's called Terrace Treasures, which is a secondhand boutique. There's numerous sunrooms throughout the building on every floor as well that are open to anyone, and exterior patios and balconies as well. So some are on the apartments. Some of the floor plans come with a patio or balcony for an extra $50 a month. And then you have the common area patios and balconies also. So lots of places to hang out. It's a really interesting, fun layout, very comfortable. And our fitness room, the fitness room and the Birch Hill activities room really were just added on about 5 years ago, as well as the art gallery wall. RiverWoods put on a huge addition that tripled the size of what used to be here. But fitness is open 24/7, and we offer classes 6 days a week. This is part of the fitness room. So some of our really small classes might go on in this fitness area, but right next door is the Birch Hill room. So you might have 20 or 30 people in a group class. We do have recumbent bikes, there's upright bikes, there's two rowing machines, there's an elliptical machine, the stretch table with weights and balls and stretchy bands, couple of treadmills, and a multifunctional trainer. So you can do seated or standing exercises. And you may also see some outpatient therapy going on in this room. This is the Birch Hill room, our huge activity space. Sometimes it's a large presentation like this, or we might cut the room in half where you've got an art class on one side and a meeting on the other, or a fitness class or the like. And these are just some of the activities that took place recently. We have people that, like I said, work at the Courier Art Museum. They might go to a concert in Nashua or Boston or Portsmouth. They go on trips and outings. They'll take a harbor cruise in Portsmouth Harbor, maybe spend a day in Portland, go to the JFK Library, have lunch on the way back. Recently, they went up and took a boat tour of Winnipesaukee. So there's tons of different things going on, and so much to choose from. It's hard to list them all. These are some of the balconies and sunrooms where, it's just additional space outside of your apartment that sort of becomes your home. The entire place becomes your home very quickly. This is our library, fairly recently renovated. Again, we're connected to the New Hampshire library system, so you can order books. Our shuttles will pick up and drop off books regularly, and we do have a book club as well if you're interested in that. Dining. So what's included? Biweekly housekeeping. So once every 2 weeks, housekeepers come in. It's a good basic cleaning, about 45 or 50 minutes. They will vacuum, dust, mop, clean the kitchen, clean the bathroom. And then annually, there's a deep cleaning with windows. A dining program is included. That's 18 dining points per person per day, and 18 dining points is the equivalent of a bundled meal, which includes soup, salad, entree, dessert, and a drink. You can carry over up to a month's worth of unused points every month. You can use them for guests, and you can use them for cold grocery items sold in the dining room. And there's a couple of alternate meal plans as well for a monthly credit. So if you find it's too much food, you can change your meal plan for a minimum 3 months at a time. Various events, activities, volunteer opportunities. There are clubs. There's a civics group. They bring in political speakers. There's a finance committee, people who have been in finance their entire lives that are now working together to review the budgets and work with the resident council or the board. There is a ukulele group. There's a resident who started a choir. Tavern committee, they put on cocktail parties twice a week, and the residents bartend. Someone takes the orders, the chef sends in food, and someone sells tickets at the door, and it's just great. It's a wonderful social opportunity, but also a really fun way to donate your time if you want to volunteer. The respite is included in the monthly fees. So again, that's 30 free days every year for a short-term medical stay in assisted living in the lodge. And that's per calendar year. Transportation. So we offer pre-scheduled transportation. Every week they have a pre-scheduled schedule where they go to different zip codes on different days. So if you are going shopping or doing banking, certainly you can do those. Or if you have medical or dental appointments, you just figure out what the zip code is that you need to go to and schedule it on that day. Drivers are wonderful. They're super helpful. And our trips also are typically included unless there's a special transportation fee for a specially organized trip. Monthly fees include the 24-hour staffing, so there's always someone in the community. You do receive a free pendant alarm that works on our campus, a push-button pendant similar to Lifeline. There are pull cords in the bathrooms in the apartments as well. And 24-hour maintenance, certainly emergency maintenance 24/7, I should say. But maintenance is terrific. You get a free hour of maintenance to hang pictures and curtain rods, things like that when you move in. And if your dishwasher breaks, you call the front desk. We also have a resident portal. So you can go on the resident portal and put in a work order to have your dishwasher fixed. We own the appliances, so we take care of all that. The resident portal, you can also check your dining points. You can sign up for outings. You can check the activities, all sorts of things, read recent memos. And of course, you can get paper calendars and memos, and you can also have them emailed to you. Included in the monthly fees are also the utilities. So you get free Wi-Fi. There's a free bulk cable package, which is maybe 100 channels, something like that. If you go beyond that, the difference in the cost would be on you. But it includes a lot, including sports channels. And heat, electricity, air conditioning. Trash and recycling rooms are on every wing, on every floor. So you just have to get it that far, and the staff take it out at night. There's also a motion sensor installed recently in every apartment and cottage. And so it clicks on once a day, and if it doesn't detect motion and you haven't told us that you're going away, we'll actually do a personal care check and call the apartment. If you don't answer, then we will check the apartment, make sure you're not on the floor. So that's a daily check. Storage cages. Every apartment receives a storage cage. We have 5 storage rooms, and you would just bring a lock to put in the storage. Oftentimes people will ask, what are the dimensions? They are not exactly alike, but maybe a guesstimate might be 3 or 4 by 5 or 6 feet. So 3 by 5, 4 by 6, and about 7 feet tall. And you put your own lock on the cage, and it's located somewhere in the building. But super helpful. We also have a room full of carts. You can borrow a flatbed, or you can borrow different carts for different reasons. And very cool here is included is winter car service. So when you move in, you give us a copy of your fob or your car key. And if there's 3 inches or more of snow on the ground in the winter, usually after the storm has ended, oftentimes the next day, the morning after the storm, the staff will come in, they will start all the cars, they will clean them off, and they will move them so that we can plow the lot, and then they'll move the cars back into the parking lot. There's 5 different parking lots, and they do this for all the resident cars, and it's a fantastic service. Um, just great. I've also seen them do that in the summertime when it's super hot outside and they're paving. Um, so that is really a wonderful service that is included. The cottages, of course, have 2-car garages. So, other benefits, wellness clinic, as I mentioned initially, with a nurse practitioner. So, office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4. Karen can do a house call if you can't get down. She's terrific. She actually really, like I said earlier, she supplements your outside doctor's care. And it's just a great resource for the residents. Can really help them out. She also oversees 3 LNAs for hire and independent living. So if your health needs start to change and you need some support, she can provide an LNA for up to 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. You can also bring in an outside agency if that's your preference. But people really enjoy that service. And there's others who just move to assisted living. So everyone's different, and it's really based on each individual. It's person-centered care based on your wishes. VNA, Visiting Nurses of Manchester, has an office here, and they provide a lot of outpatient services. And there are physical therapists on an outpatient basis that are also in an office here and can be scheduled either in the fitness room to use the equipment or maybe starting in a resident apartment. But that is just terrific. There's also some specialists that come in every month. There's an audiologist, a dermatologist, and a podiatrist who come in and provide basic services in the community. And Karen helps juggle all of that in the wellness clinic. She also does blood pressure checks. She and Megan, our fitness coordinator, together might do health presentations. And by the way, both hospitals, Catholic Medical Center and Elliott Hospital, offer lab work in the building once a week. So that's super convenient as well. We do have a benevolence clause in our contract that states that if you outlive your assets or spend down what you came in with over time at no fault of your own, so you didn't give your money away, you can apply for a subsidy and not have to leave the campus or the community at a point where it becomes challenging to do so. This is your home. We want you to be able to stay here. So we do have that benevolence clause. We do a lot of fundraisers for benevolence, and that money is there to subsidize your monthly fees if you become unable to pay your way. It is a confidential process, and no one knows who's on it, but it's just a gift that if that happens to you over time, and people are living longer than ever, so it may, but RiverWoods will cover that, and that's really the part of the charitable piece of our contract. This is our current rate schedule as of July 1st. So for the 1-bedroom apartments, the entrance fee range starts at $238,000, goes up to $345,000. And there is a second person entrance fee that is $35,000. And then there's a monthly fee, $36.91, and up to $48.69. And the second person monthly fee, you would add $1,028. The first person entrance fee, the larger number, $238,000, that is the 70% refundable entrance fee. The second person entrance fee is non-refundable. Our waitlist deposits are between $25,000 and $70,000. And we do pay 4% simple interest on that deposit. And that deposit goes toward the plus interest goes towards your entrance fee payment due when you're establishing residency. Are you ready to join our wait list? Estimated wait times. So I'd say 6 months to 2 years for a one bedroom, although sometimes we have something open up and those on the wait list aren't ready yet. So we might look to the outside for someone who's interested. Always call and ask us. Probably 2 to 4 years for a one bedroom with a den, and 3 to 5 years for the large 2 bedroom apartments, 2 bedroom, 2 bath apartments, and cottages. In order to apply, you would complete a confidential data profile to determine your qualification. It's really based on your dates of birth, assets, income, debt, if you have a property to sell, investments, if you have a pension, is it a lifetime pension? Do you have long-term care insurance? If so, works really well here in our community, and you want to call them and get the most recent summary sheet. So you'll be able to fill out the application for Manchester with that information. You pay the deposit once you're approved. You can deposit or reservation fee on the largest size floor plan that you qualify for, and you can list any smaller sizes beneath that. So if you qualify for anything on campus, you can place your deposit on any size floor plan. Again, your deposit earns 4% simple interest if you become a resident. If you don't and you back out, there are two reasons for a back out. One is voluntary withdrawal. So if you just decide not to come, there's a $1,000 processing fee, but the remainder would be refunded with a very small amount of interest. If God forbid something happened to you, you couldn't come for a serious medical reason, then the entire deposit is refunded to you with that very small amount of interest. You can tell us don't call you until 2027 if you want. Basically, the wait list says if you say no to an offer 3 times, we put you at the bottom of the list. But you can also say don't start calling us until a certain year. I find it's easier for people if we stay in touch pretty regularly. Oftentimes people move up their timing on the wait list. Something opens and they also often go smaller than they thought they originally would, and they're quite happy with that. So anything can happen. Just have an open mind. And because people are moving in younger than ever before, my suggestion after 21 years in the industry is do this sooner, because you never know how long you're going to wait if you don't. People moving in their early 60s could be here for 30 years. And we don't have a lot of the large apartments, so that wait list will grow over time. So keep that in the back of your mind. So if you're on the wait list and an apartment looks like something's opening up, we're going to reach out, ask you to redo your financial assessment because your approvals are only good for 90 days. And we will have you do a health assessment with our nurse practitioner. Once you're approved, we officially offer the apartment, and that starts a 61-day clock to closing or key connection, which is when the entrance fee is due in full and the monthly fees begin. What happens is we offer the apartment, and then on day 50, we determine what that date is, and you sign the contract on that date. Then you have 10 days right of rescission to back out and get your money back. And then on day 61, the balance of the entrance fee is due past the deposit and interest, and your monthly fees will start on day 61, and that establishes residency. Your move-in timing is really up to you. Some people will go a few months and play with furnishings and take their time setting up. Others move in the same day as closing on their house, which can be quite stressful. But really the move-in timing is up to you, and your monthly fees will start on day 61, whether you are here or not. You can do a no meal plan for a few months and get a monthly credit for that if you are not planning to be here for the first few months. These are several of our independent residents, 2 of which are cousins and live right down the hall from each other. So a CCRC offers the best value in senior living. Whatever you do, we suggest you create a plan. Don't be an ostrich with your head in the sand. Definitely get out, start touring communities, whether it's a CCRC or not. And no two CCRCs work exactly alike. So you want to get out and you want to find out what's out there, what the contract says, what the pricing is. There's so many questions to ask. We do write a guidebook called a CCRC 101, which is a guide to the different kinds of contracts and might help you with valuable questions to ask when you are touring. Whatever you do, make a plan and choose your change. Moving to a CCRC like this lets you determine the future quality of care in advance, the future lowest pricing in advance, the where you're going to get that care and who it's going to be offered by. So there's so many benefits to doing this sooner. I've moved in 3 62-year-olds in the last few years that just retired, and they are set for life. So it's a lot. It's wise to look at this, and it's one of the few ways to actually get a refund to your estate as a possibility in the future. You may have heard we have a new service called NaviGuide, and this is Amanda Kelly, who is available to really help find services and provide services either in the home or in the region for those folks who can't move to a CCRC or don't want to move to a CCRC. She can really connect you with a wide range of support, and there is a monthly fee for this. And it's a low fee for these services. So certainly check out Amanda's website, riverwoodsnh.org/naviguide, which is just a great resource for the community. If you haven't received a packet, or if you have and you need an update, let us know. And certainly call and schedule the tour. We welcome tours, but we do request that you book the tour. Walk-ins can be challenging and we're not always here. So it would be our pleasure to provide a tour or a second tour or sometimes even a third tour. There's a lot of information involved. You can sign up for a couple of these webinars or come tour and possibly attend an on-site luncheon. Whatever you need to do to get your questions answered, and certainly ask for a copy of the contract too if you're interested in that. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I just want to, let's see if I can do this. Just want to say thank you for joining us. While we are a life care plan, we do have availability in RiverWoods Durham for memory support for a direct admission currently. So if you know someone who is in need of memory support, you can call RiverWoods Durham, ask for Kelly Fires, and discuss a direct admit option, which is not something we normally do. So it's a nice opportunity. And I just want to see if we have any questions. Just follow up to the presentation. Our first question says, what happens when your spouse passes that has the bigger deposit monthly to the other spouse? The entrance fees, first and second person, aren't assigned. It's just a total amount. So we would drop the second person entrance fee, of course, the monthly fee. I'm sorry, the second person monthly fee. But the entrance fees stay with where they are until you have both left the community and the next person pays the entrance fee on your independent home, and then anything in the refund is returned. And then how many pets per unit and what types? You can have up to 2 pets, and there are dogs here, there are house cats here, there's a bird. We have had a turtle that moved up from South Carolina, Sam, that was with us for a while. So it's max 2 per apartment or cottage, and we have a full pet policy to review. If you'd like to see a copy of that, we can send that to you. It does require renters property liability policy with a certain amount of pet liability coverage, just in case there's a bite or something like that, someone needs surgery. So that's important to know. And 2 people that will back you up, come take your pet if something happens to you. Sometimes some of the residents help with that also if someone goes to the hospital or whatnot, goes on a trip. But we do love pets here, and there's two dog-friendly mini trails that residents have cleared in the past here right on our campus, which is really nice. And then people walk around the building itself and in the neighborhoods surrounding us. Like I said, those folks walk in our neighborhood too. It's super friendly, and we have those small doggy stations along the way. Any other questions? I think we've uh, I think we've hit them all. Regarding availability, there's a chance a cottage may be opening up soon. We may have a cedar or an aspen opening up, for which our waitlisters are not quite ready. So certainly, if you're looking for a space in the near future, let us know. What are the differences between the various sites? Hmm. Are you talking about the cottages, Anne? There's two different sizes. The larger is 1,650 square feet, and it's two bedroom, two bath with a den and a sunroom or dining area. The smaller cottage is 1,350. The three campuses. I'm sorry. She was asking about the three different campuses. What are the differences? Well, there's contract differences. Exeter and Durham are type A. We're a type B, where you don't pay for healthcare till you need it, and then it's discounted off market rate. The sizes are a little different with each. So I don't have those numbers in front of me here, but certainly if you're interested in getting information from those campuses, let us know. We can let them know and have them email you our materials. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. Please feel welcome to call me or email me with any follow-up questions, and we're glad you could join us. Thank you so much, and you have a great day.